want to discuss with you now what is perhaps the most pressing issue facing America today. One side of the debate believes that this item is a menace to public safety. The other side believes that it's an essential tool of self-preservation. I'm, of course, talking about the caramel macchiato from Starbucks. Liberals argue that they can't live without it, and that they certainly can't get to hot yoga class until they've had one. Meanwhile, conservatives believe that they are nothing more than slow-roasted fascism dispensed by a Hitler Youth barista in a man bun. I'm kidding, of course. With the shocking rise of gun deaths in the US in 2020 and the sharp rise of mass shooting events, liberals are once again demanding sensible gun reforms that will no doubt fall on deaf ears and be quickly forgotten. That is until there's another mass shooting, in which case the cycle of outrage, demands, and forgetting will repeat itself ad nauseum. Gun owners, on the other hand, continue their age-old mantra that you will have to pry my gun from my cold, dead hand. Although now they add, assuming that that hand is not first holding that Trump flag where he looks like Rambo and is holding the rocket launcher that he keeps in a holster on his hip. Before I get any further, let's be 100% clear here about something that America will never get done. We will never get rid of guns the way the Australians did several years ago after they had a mass shooting. Every time there's a mass shooting in the US, half the country is outraged and the other half is now waiting online at the gun store, fearful that at any moment jackbooted thugs are coming to confiscate their guns. Every time that there's a mass shooting in the US, half the country demands gun reform. Meanwhile, the other half of the country shrugs their shoulders, having convinced themselves that the occasional mass shooting is an acceptable, unintended consequence of upholding the Second Amendment. Liberals are moved to action by a passion for wanting to protect society, including the most vulnerable among us, school kids. Gun owners insist that without a firearm, they are unsafe, their families are unsafe from crime, and that their homes are unsafe from government encroachment. Liberals fear for the common good. Gun owners fear that their individual rights are being trampled. Liberals fear for the lives of their kids in public schools. Gun owners fear that they won't be able to protect themselves in their homes when a black family moves in next door, or a Muslim family, or a Mexican family, or a gay family, or Jews with space lasers. And look, yes, I know that not all gun owners are bigots, okay? It's a joke, so please, knock that shit off in the comments. So, since we're not going to reduce the number of guns in circulation, and we are not going to further restrict ownership of guns, the very best that we can do is a few things around the margins to keep dangerous weapons from those who are going to use them to kill people. So, here are 10 gun control ideas that no one is talking about, but quite frankly, damn it, they should be. Number 1, thanks to a ruling made under the Reagan administration, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is expressly prohibited from regulating guns. Let's change that. Number 2, in 1996, the federal government passed the Dickey Amendment, which prevents people from suing gun manufacturers for negligence in cases where guns are used improperly, like a mass shooting, for example. Let's repeal the Dickey Amendment. Number 3, the CDC and the NIH are prohibited from spending taxpayer money on research into preventing injury from gun use. Let's make it possible to collect data so that Americans can know the truth about the effects that guns are having on our society. Number 4, homeowners and drivers of cars need to have insurance in case someone gets injured on their property or with their vehicle. Let's mandate that gun owners must carry insurance. Number 5, the system by which individual states share information about who has committed crimes that would prevent an individual from owning a gun is hopelessly antiquated. Let's spend some money and modernize that thing. Number 6. In the United States, mandated reporters are people who have regular contact with vulnerable populations, such as children, students, and the elderly. If these people are concerned about abuse, they are required by law to report their concern to authorities. Let's make credit card companies mandated reporters. When they observe an irregularity or an unexpected gun purchase, they will report this to the authorities, and the person who bought those guns will get a visit from the police. Number 7, in order to cut hair in the United States, you need to get a license. And before you will be given said license, you must complete 1,500 hours of training. 1,500 hours of training in order to hold scissors close to someone's eyes. In most US states, you do not need a license to own a gun. You do not need to have any safety training whatsoever. Let's change that. Number 8, update the federal database used to do background checks. Many state databases that would indicate if a person is prohibited from owning a weapon is not properly integrated into the federal system. Number 9, each year the Department of Justice gets tens of thousands of reports of people who have lied on their request to own a firearm. This is a felony. However, the Justice Department only prosecutes less than 1% of those charged. Let's do better. Number 10, traditionally, decisions at the Supreme Court that have a sweeping effect on most Americans tend to be decided by a significant margin, say 9-0 or 7-2. However, the landmark Heller decision in 2008 that guaranteed an individual's rights to possess a firearm independent of belonging to a state militia only passed by 5-4. It's time for President Biden to increase the number of judges on the Supreme Court so that the conservatives no longer have an advantage. Thank you all for watching this episode of Be Less Stupid. I would like to encourage you to please subscribe to the channel and of course tell your friends. That way I can keep the programming entirely free. So, from me and my buddy Luca, who is now 3 months old and can play fetch, thank you for watching Be Less Stupid, and I will see you next time.